Stop right there if you think easy crochet patterns are actually easy, because what I'm about to tell you is going to completely change how you look at beginner projects forever. You know those patterns labeled as easy, the ones that promise you'll finish in an afternoon? Yeah, those are lying to you, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So here's the thing. I've been crocheting for years now, and I cannot tell you how many times I've fallen for the easy pattern trap. You see a cute little dishcloth pattern or a simple scarf, and you think, perfect, this is gonna be relaxing, this is gonna be fun. And then 2 hours later, you're sitting there with a tangled mess of yarn, questioning every life choice that brought you to this moment. But nobody talks about this. Everyone just posts their finished projects online, all perfect and cute, and you're left wondering why yours looks like it got into a fight with a lawnmower and lost. Let me tell you what's really going on with these so-called easy crochet designs. First off, the tension issue. This is huge and barely anyone mentions it. When a pattern says it's easy, they're assuming you already have perfect tension. But here's the reality. Most beginners grip their hook like they're trying to strangle it. I did this too when I started. Your hand cramps up, your stitches are tight enough to stop blood flow, and suddenly that easy pattern requires twice as much yarn and looks nothing like the picture. And the pattern designers, they know their tension. They've been doing this for decades. Their easy is not your easy. It's like when a professional chef says a recipe is simple, but you end up burning water somehow. Same energy. But it gets worse. Let's talk about yarn weight. Patterns will tell you to use a specific yarn weight, usually worsted or something similar. Sounds straightforward, right? Wrong. Yarn companies are out here playing games with their weight categories. One brand's worsted is thick and chunky, another brand's worsted is basically thread. And when you're a beginner, you don't know this yet. You just grab whatever says worsted on the label and hope for the best. I once tried to make an easy granny square blanket. The pattern said worsted weight yarn. I bought what I thought was worsted weight. Turned out my yarn was way thinner than what the designer used. My squares were tiny, like doll-sized. I would have needed about 300 of them to make an actual blanket. The pattern said I'd need 20 squares. 20! I wanted to cry. And here's another thing nobody tells you. Easy patterns assume you can read their minds. They'll say things like, chain 2 does not count as stitch. Okay, cool, but what does that actually mean for my project? Where do I put my first stitch? Do I skip a stitch? Do I work into the same stitch? The pattern doesn't say. You're just supposed to know. Or they'll use abbreviations without explaining them properly. Sure, they might have a little key at the start, but when you're in the middle of row 15 and you see SC2TG, you've already forgotten what that means. Is it single crochet 2 together? Is it something else? You have to stop, scroll back up, find the abbreviation, scroll back down, and by then you've lost your place. Speaking of losing your place, let's talk about how easy patterns are formatted. Have you ever noticed how some patterns are just walls of text? No spacing, no clear breaks between rows, just comma after comma after comma. Your eyes glaze over. You read the same line 3 times and still don't understand what you're supposed to do. That's not you being bad at crochet, that's bad pattern writing. And the photos. Oh my goodness, the photos. An easy pattern will show you one picture of the finished project. One. From one angle, usually styled all pretty with props and perfect lighting. But they won't show you what your stitches should look like as you're working. They won't show you the back of the work. They won't show you common mistakes. You're just supposed to figure it out and hope your thing looks like theirs at the end. I tried making an easy amigurumi once. It was supposed to be a simple little bear. The pattern had one photo of a perfect bear sitting on a wooden table with some flowers next to it. Adorable. My bear looked like it had been through a war. The head was lumpy, the arms were different sizes, one ear was bigger than the other, and I followed the pattern exactly. Or at least I thought I did. Turns out, Amigurumi has this whole invisible decrease technique that makes your projects look smooth instead of holy. The pattern didn't mention this. It just said decrease. So I did a regular decrease, and my bear had gaps everywhere. You could see the stuffing poking through. It looked diseased. Now let's talk about gauge. Easy patterns will sometimes say gauge doesn't matter. And technically, for some projects, it doesn't. If you're making a dishcloth and it turns out a little bigger or smaller, who cares, right? But here's what they don't tell you. Even if gauge doesn't matter for size, it matters for how your fabric looks and feels. If your gauge is too tight, your project will be stiff and dense. If it's too loose, it'll be floppy and holey. Neither of these might be what you want. But the pattern just says gauge doesn't matter, so you don't even think to check. You just start crocheting and wonder why your washcloth could double as body armor. And can we please talk about the yarn amounts? Easy patterns will tell you that you need 1 skein of yarn. Sounds great. You buy 1 skein, you start your project, you're almost done, just a few more rows, and boom, you run out of yarn. Now you have to go back to the store, hope they still have the same dye lot, and buy another skein that you'll barely use. Or worse, they don't have it anymore. Now you've got a half-finished project and yarn that doesn't quite match. You either frog the whole thing and start over with new yarn, or you finish it with slightly different colored yarn and pretend it was a design choice. I've done both. Neither feels good. Here's another sneaky thing about easy patterns. They don't account for learning curves. Yes, the stitches might be basic, single crochet, double crochet, chain stitches, easy stuff. But they'll have you doing these stitches in weird combinations or in tricky spots. Like working in the round, patterns will say it's easy, just single crochet in a spiral. But they won't tell you how to keep track of your rounds. They won't tell you that your circle might start warping if you're not increasing correctly. They won't tell you that the beginning of your round will start shifting and you'll lose your mind trying to figure out where you started. Stitch markers exist for this reason, but easy patterns don't always tell you to use them. They just assume you'll figure it out, and when you don't and your project goes sideways, you think you're bad at crochet. You're not. The pattern just didn't give you all the information. Color changes are another trap. A pattern will say it's easy and involve just 2 colors. Simple, right? But they don't explain how to change colors cleanly. They don't tell you what to do with the yarn tails. They don't mention that you need to plan your color changes or your stripes will look wonky. I made an easy striped blanket once. Every time I changed colors, I had these ugly bumps where the new yarn started. The pattern didn't say anything about carrying yarn or making invisible joins. My blanket looked like it had a zipper running through it. And let's get into the whole seaming situation. Some easy patterns have you make multiple pieces and then sew them together. The pattern will spend pages explaining how to crochet the pieces. Then at the end, it'll just say, sew pieces together. That's it. That's all the instruction you get. But seaming is an art. There are different techniques: whip stitch, mattress stitch, slip stitch seams, single crochet seams. Each one looks different and works better for different projects. The pattern doesn't tell you this. You're just supposed to grab a needle and hope for the best. My first wearable project was an easy vest. I crocheted the back panel, I crocheted the front panels, I crocheted the straps, then I had to sew it all together. I used whatever stitch I knew, which was basically just stabbing the yarn needle through random spots and pulling. My seams were visible, bumpy, and crooked. The vest fit weird because my seams weren't even. I never wore it outside the house. Nobody tells you that the finishing is often harder than the actual crocheting. A pattern can be easy to crochet, but a nightmare to finish. Weaving in ends, blocking, seaming, adding buttons or closures, all of this takes skill. All of this can make or break your project, and most easy patterns barely mention it. Blocking is a whole other secret. You'll finish a project and it looks wonky. The edges curl, the stitches are uneven. You think you messed up. But then you learn about blocking, which is basically wetting your project and pinning it into shape while it dries. And suddenly your project looks professional. But easy patterns don't tell you to block. They just show you the finished product, which they definitely blocked before.